Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Here I want to talk about the Canon 100-400 Mark II L lens. It's sharp, it's got 4 stops of image stabilisation, it's got a nice tripod mount foot there for attaching it to tripods obviously, and it has a nice little window, if you can see that in the video, for putting your finger in to adjust the polarizer filter if you've got one attached. However, what I want to talk about in regards to this lens is its autofocus system. Now I compared the Sigma 150-600 Contemporary Sport, the Tamron G1 lens which is 150-600, and I found those super zooms a lot quicker than this lens. Now about 2 years ago I set up a small little studio in my living room, right, with it was quite a darkly lit room, and so I tested the autofocus systems on all 4 lenses, and I found the Canon autofocus system to be very slow. And what I thought it might be is that the algorithm in this newer lens is optimized for newer cameras, such as say a 7D Mark II or an 80D or a 5D Mark IV, something like that. So that I thought, with it being on my original 7D and 600D, maybe that's the problem. So after testing the original lens that I had and testing a lens in the shop, the autofocus system seems really rubbish to me. So I sold the Canon 100-400 Mark II lens and got myself one of the Sigma 150-600 zooms, and for the most part it was a good lens to use, although I did find the image stabilisation to be not very good on the Contemporary. The Sport is very similar as well. Anyway, that's a side note. I want to talk about the Canon lens. What a lot of YouTubers such as Tony Rec, Tony Northrup, Dustin Abbott are not really reviewing this lens properly, and that seems to be the case on a lot of YouTube photography channels, where they're reviewing the lens but they're not testing it in all environments, all lighting conditions. So what I'm going to tell you is something they won't tell you. I suspect that a lot of these photography YouTube channels are not telling you this because they're getting kickbacks, they're getting sponsorship from these photography companies. So I noticed that they don't really want to badmouth the equipment they're reviewing, such as highlighting something that's bad in it. They just highlight what's good in it. What I want to do is tell you the reality of this lens. So it's very sharp. It's as good as a Sigma 150-600 if you upscale or crop the image to 600mm. So you're getting the same sharpness in this lens as you do in the Contemporary or the Sport lens, because it's really sharp. Image stabilisation, 4 stops of image stabilisation, fantastic lens. You can't go wrong with the quality this will give you. However, if you're in poor lighting conditions such as dusk, sunrise, or it's a really dark day, this lens will struggle. Your autofocus will become a crawl. I'm just going to show you an example here of what I mean. Here you can see a setting, right, where I've set up the lens focused on a light when the lighting's switched on. So you can see the autofocus is very slow. Right, let's turn that light on. Right, now we've got the light on. Now you can see the autofocus a lot quicker, a lot responsive. In fact, I would say 3 or 4 times faster, and to my visual eye the autofocus matches the speed of the 150-600 Sigma and Tamron lenses. So what I'm telling you is the reality of the actual autofocus algorithm within the lens is Canon has optimized it for accuracy rather than speed. So what that means is in low lighting situations, the autofocus does struggle. So in those circumstances, I would recommend you use the 70-200 2.8 Canon L lens, the Mark II or the Mark I, in low light situations. And then when you really need that 400mm reach, use this. Because what I have noticed is, you know, if you use a focal length of 100mm, 200mm, even 300mm, the autofocus is dramatically faster than at 400mm. So I just wanted to get it out there and tell everyone the reality of this lens and how it is really good in certain environments. However, when that light starts to drop, you don't really want to be using this lens, unfortunately. That is the downside. Now, I rebought this lens because I realised that it's a lot smaller than the Sigma 150-600. It gives you sharp results, and in good daylight, you're going to love this lens. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad lens, guys. I'm saying it's fantastic in good lighting conditions, or even moderately good lighting conditions. However, when it becomes really dark, I would recommend you don't use this lens and consider using an alternative lens for when the light drops. That's why I think this is a fantastic lens to be paired with the 70-200 2.8 Mark II lens, because that's designed for low light situations. So I hope this video really give you a good understanding on how the autofocus system on this lens actually works, and how basically when it gets dark you don't want to be using it. So I hope you found this informative and telling you the truth over the course of using this lens for over a year. This is what I've learned. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.